And good evening, everybody. Welcome into FLYFAM TV. Ryan Forsey here with you as we are beginning the 25-26 high school boys basketball season for the Dixie High Flyers at the annual 2025 Coach Walker Holiday Classic, as games are a little bit behind, which is pretty normal, and Bountiful and Snow Canyon just wrapping up, as Bountiful will hold on to a hard-fought 10-point victory, 72-62 over the Snow Canyon Warriors in their opening game. And so we'll get things started here as the Flyers and Bulldogs of Provo take the court for the warm-up. Again, I'm guessing they're going to give about 10 minutes. That's usually standard procedure, about 10 minutes to warm up. It might be a little quicker. We'll see. But again, thanks so much for joining us here as they're getting things set up. So they're going to give 8 minutes to the warm-up. Again, here at the Coach Walker Classic in the annual tournament that Pineview High School hosts. And a great way to get things started for the season. And the Dixie Flyers starting off the 2025 campaign against the Bulldogs of Provo. And if you're not aware, Provo comes in already having played a game. They played on Tuesday. They beat West Jordan by 20-plus points. And then the Flyers, this will be their season opener. And the Bulldogs also come in ranked number 1 in the state in the 4A classifications. Dixie, not too far behind, number 4 in the 4A state classification. So it should be a fantastic contest as we get things started off here for the season. Now, before we get to the game, they haven't even started the clock yet. We're going to play the Dixie segment from the Fan Sports Network Media Day, which took place yesterday, as all the teams from Region 9 stop by and have a little Q&A session with Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, and Caden Formaster of the Fan Sports Network. So we're going to play that right now, and if we have to cut it short, we cut it short. If not, that's what we'll play. We'll go up into that point and see where we're at as far as warming up and getting things going for the tip-off here from Pineview High School. So here is the Dixie High portion of the Region 9 Media Day.
Back, everybody, our 2025-2026 Region 9 Basketball Media Day here from the Nets on Fire Complex. Of course, we're going to have basketball at a basketball complex. Check out netsonfire.org for all the details. And now joining us on set, Coach Tyler Roberts in his 8th year as head coach of the Flyers. And we've got Colin, Chaz, and Zach with us as well. We'll talk to the players in just a minute. But, Coach, you know the drill. Give us an overall preview of the Flyers. Tell us about this year's team, what you guys have been up to in the offseason, and your expectations for the guys this year.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having us. Appreciate you guys and doing this for obviously the teams and for the players. We had a great summer, being together and kind of starting to build some chemistry with each other. Having a few additions with Chaz and Asher, just them having to get in the swing of things and kind of learning all of our offense and our defensive stuff. But honestly, probably the most surprising thing is just the chemistry that they have. Really quick, the way they've been playing together and just hanging out and doing those type of things. It's been fun watching them kind of grow together that way. But I think the summer was a little probably challenging even for these guys. That was, my dad passed away, and so I wasn't as involved this summer. And shout out to my assistant coaches, Coach Howard and Coach Robinson, for stepping in, because it was a little bit different and hard at times. But these guys just came together and grinded and just pushed through it. So. I think the biggest thing right now with us is honestly just buying into defense. I've kind of always preached that, just buying into defense and then, trying to get out and run a little bit like we normally like to do.
Last year, you guys averaged 57, almost 58 a game, gave up 52. Where do you want to see those numbers? You were 12th in 4A in offense and 4th in 4A in defense.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is if you can keep a team, 10 to 12 points a quarter, you're in good shape. And then obviously you still got to be able to score the ball. So, but I like our offensive side of the game as well. Obviously these three, they've been around and played a lot of basketball. And then adding like Ammon Ashton to the mix with Matt Coward and Asher Spence. And then Jackson Winters being just a tough tough, hard-nosed kid that can do his job there, and Landon Beckstrom coming in to be able to hit some threes too. So we have the depth probably more this year than I've actually had in the past, 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you.
So let's talk a little bit about this team that you're building right now, because it looks very different than the team that you had last year. And this is a question that I asked Crimson Cliffs about, but I want to ask you as well. What's the identity with all of the new look that you have here with this team?
I think the identity comes back to, obviously, defense. That would be kind of the number one thing. I think the first step of that is obviously buying into FLYFAM, understanding that it's bigger than you. And these days it's hard because a lot of kids, it is about them. And I think these guys are realizing that if they realize that, then that's when you can become a complete team and buying into team defense instead of individual scoring and those type of things. If you can buy into those things as a team, then obviously amazing things can happen.
Love it. I got a chance to actually coach a couple of these kids, and I've seen Zach kind of from the junior high ages working out at Nets and being on some of the teams over here. But I'm curious, you guys got a chance to be on the Adidas circuit this summer, Chaz and Colin. What did you guys kind of take from that and taking into this season this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, playing Adidas, it's a lot different than high school ball. It's a way different play style, I feel like. So just transitioning from that into, how we run high school side of things, I think it was obviously good for us to go up against that high-level competition in Adidas. It obviously me and Chaz grew as a basketball player, I feel like. But yeah, just really good for us to get out there and play against some different competition than we're used to seeing.
Colin, what's you grown any since last time we saw you? Where are you listed at right now?
I think 6'7". So yeah.
All right. Well,
I think his vertical has grown. Was that 42 now?
Yeah. Well, I think it was 41.
41?
With
We'll take that.
your older brother never hit 31. You got something on him.
Yeah. For sure.
What are the colleges saying to you? What's the recruiting process been like through the offseason, and when will you commit? Do you know yet?
So right now I've got, a couple options. I'm talking to a few coaches. I've got one offer on the table right now. So I'm looking, hopefully get a few more. So I have, a few different variety, and then hopefully just, after the season, just figure something out. So, yeah.
Coach, what are your thoughts on his upside?
His upside, I still think, especially in the state of Utah, I don't think they know who Colin Simmons is yet. I think he's got a huge ceiling. I mean, he's going to get a lot of offers, just by playing his style. He's not really a 5 guy. He's actually like probably a 4 or 3 in college. He can put the ball on the floor, and then obviously having the vertical that he has right now, being able to finish around the rim is next level.
Let's bring in Zach for a second. Zach, how's the Coach Roberts practice been the last week? I mean, we're getting right up to almost game time tomorrow. How's things progressing? You guys getting after it quite a bit?
Oh, yeah, we're throwing in a lot of new plays. It's good to see. We're obviously building chemistry with our new guys, playing against JV. Everything's been going real well. We've been getting conditioning in, which is good. We've got a good schedule coming up, so practice has been good,
I want to go ahead and go down the line to Chaz for a second as well. I would ask you about conditioning, but you've been running routes for the last 3 or 4 months. So tell me about this transition for you from football to basketball, something you haven't really experienced too much of yet.
Oh man, it was weird just playing football and just not being able to be with the team while they're doing the fall league and stuff. But the transition has been fine, just coming back and hopping into practices. I mean, it's been fine.
Tell Coach, the FLYFAM mentality. I mean, I look in the region and I go, probably one of the first guys to really come up with a culture for the school and for the program. What was kind of the inspiration behind that?
I think the biggest thing is, I played at Dixie also. I met my wife there. All my kids have gone there. Mother-in-law went to Dixie. Honestly, I think there's just that kind of that deep tradition with Dixie, and knowing that, the past and how old the school is, and first school in St. George, and just bringing in that kind of family atmosphere. That was my goal as a coach. I still believe that it is bigger than basketball. A lot of these guys are not going to go on and play at the next level, and so us as coaches can try to impact their lives. And I think that whole FLYFAM is just Flyers and FLYFAM coming together as one, and just competing and obviously making memories and friendships that last a lifetime.
So continuing on, let's talk about your schedule a little bit. Tell me about this first half of the schedule before we get into region play and some of the matchups you're excited to see.
Tough schedule, Coach,
Yeah.
in the preseason.
Yeah, our schedule's really tough, but I mean, I love doing that just to see where we're at. I'm not afraid of playing 5A, 6As, but obviously our first game Thursday is against Provo, who's number one team in the state. Excited to play them, a great opportunity to play them. They played last night and won, so got a little bit of game film on them. And then we go to Bountiful and Green Canyon this week. And then another game we're really looking forward to is that Timpview game at Timpview, who I think is the number one team in the state. I think they're 1 or 2, a couple of BYU commits there. That'll be a good one. And then right into that 5A, 6A, the Sky Ridge tournament, 5A, 6A tournament there. So that just kind of kicks off that first 7 games, and it's going to be a tough road, but we're looking forward to that challenge.
I want to go back to Chaz for a second. Chaz, has it been fun going across town to a new team, and what will the emotions be like when you guys play the Thunder later in the year?
Dude, it's been so sick being a Dixie Flyer. Like I love it. I love Coach Roberts. I love these guys. And dude, I think I saw on the schedule we played Desert Hills on their senior night, and I'm excited for that game.
All right, folks, welcome into FlyFam TV. Ryan Forsey here with you, cutting the media day portion for Region 9 boys basketball, which took place yesterday, as we are about to get set here from the annual Coach Walker Holiday Classic held at Pineview High and hosted by Pineview High in honor of the late, great Coach Walker, against the designated home team Dixie Flyers and the designated visiting team Provo Bulldogs. The Provo Bulldogs come in ranked number 1 in 4A. Dixie ranked number 4. And we are foregoing any kind of starting lineup introductions as we get set to jump. So, as the pause for the official, and here we go for dramatic effect. All right, so your starters for the Flyers. Number 2, Chaz Holbrook. He swings over to number 1, Zach Jensen. Looking for the lob to Colin Simmons. Just short arms it just a little bit, passes a little too high. Also starting for the Flyers, number 25, Mac Howard. That's a long 3 by Makai Allen. Allen, the number 1 ranked player in 4A and recent commit to Snow College as the Flyers come back. And Zach Jensen, he's fouled on a 3. So with Provo, your starters are number 2, Makai Allen, a 6'2 senior. Number 5, Nikolai Chrisman, a 6'3 senior. Number 30, Cale McCune, a 6-foot senior. Number 32, Lucas Castanetto, a 6'3 senior. And then 33, Callan Tallstrup, a 6'8 senior for this Provo Bulldog team. And head coach Chris Collinsworth, BYU great, played in the NBA, and he's got this program trending in the right direction. Last year, coming up a little bit short in the playoffs, but now he's got a very seasoned, experienced group as Tallstrup drives on Ammon Ashton, loses it out of bounds, but able to get it back out to Allen. A fresh shot clock and a whistle called, and that's going to go against Chaz Holbrook. Holbrook, a transfer / move-in from Desert Hills, the senior guard. 6 foot. Had a solid football season for the Flyers as Makai Allen peels off the high screen. Too hard, rebound deflected out, picked up by Holbrook, quickly up the court to Ashton. Tries to get it to Jensen, loses it momentarily, and Mac Howard picks it up, and the Flyers set up in their half court. Holbrook driving baseline, cut off, clears out to Simmons. Simmons, quick underneath feed to Ammon Ashton, evading the double team, and Ashton puts it in for 2. And the Flyers take their first lead 5-3 as Tallstrup trying to back in on Ashton. Ashton holding his ground. And Makai Allen looks to Coach Collinsworth for instructions and resets. Allen Crafty with the dribble, in and out, hangs, kicks to the corner for the 3 attempt, no good. Allen, though, with the rebound, blocked by Simmons. Jensen comes down with it quickly up the floor to Ashton. Ashton hesitates. Tried to squeeze it through the middle, but it goes errantly right into the hands of Makai Allen, who soars in for the two-hand flush. And a late whistle, and that is a technical. And I'm not sure if it's on Makai Allen or if it's on Provo, the Provo bench. Coach Collinsworth standing in disbelief. I want to say it is called against Allen. They're saying that he pulled up on the dunk. I'm not sure. I don't agree with that. I don't like that call because a lot of times the player's momentum carries them through, and as a safety precaution, you pull up to kind of regain your balance so your feet don't go all the way up underneath the backboard. I did not see anything that would warrant a technical. Like, he wasn't showboating, he wasn't doing anything, but the official making the call, and Chaz Holbrook stepping to the line and buries both free throws. And the Flyers retake the lead. So again, the Flyers taking possession quickly underneath, and a whistle and a warning against the bench of Provo, I believe. The ball was knocked out of bounds off of Colin Simmons. I believe Simmons last touched it, but now the officials are calling it a jump ball, and it will be Provo ball on the possession arrow. So Coach Roberts for the Flyers now wanting an explanation. So the ball went out of bounds. The official issued a bench warning from the appearance. That's what it appears to have happened, and because of the miscommunication, they call a jump ball, and now Provo. Tollerstrup driving, and that's going to be an offensive foul. So that's going to be the third team foul for Provo. Tollerstrup's first personal foul, as Holbrook being picked up by McCune. Slings it over to Jensen, loose ball, now it's on the floor, and a jump ball called, and the Flyers will hold possession. An ill-advised pass there by Holbrook under pressure. And the coaching staff for Provo still not happy with the official and the call he's made. I wouldn't say they're chewing him out, but they're definitely discussing matters that we play on. And Zach Jensen gets across midcourt, swings over to Holbrook. Holbrook picked up by Allen. He shovels it near side, Ammon Ashton. Ashton to Simmons. Lob underneath to Mac Howard. Howard behind the plane of the backboard, has to jump up to force the shot. He does, but he draws the contact. He'll shoot two. That's going to be 4 quick team fouls against the Bulldogs. Howard, 6'1" junior. For this Flyer team, not a lot of experience coming back from last year's squad, but Howard was one of them. Howard and Colin Simmons got the lion's share for juniors. Zach Jensen got in a little bit. Ammon Ashton got in a little bit, but mostly Mac and Colin were the ones playing as Howard goes 1 for 2. Now here come the Bulldogs. Allen directing traffic. Over to Castanetto, to Chrisman. Now underneath to Allen. Loses it momentarily, forces up a fadeaway tough shot. No good, but McCune comes flying in for the rebound. Almost loses it out of bounds, but Ashton last to touch it. Provo ball. So with the shot attempt, shot clock reset, so full 30 seconds for the Bulldogs. Tollerstrup trying to take advantage of the size over Jensen. 14-foot step back, no good. Rebound tapped up and controlled by Simmons. And he hands to Ashton. Ashton then hands to Holbrook. Holbrook, the senior guard. And the move in from Desert Hills as Howard drives baseline. Loses his footing, but flares it out. Holbrook able to get it, collects himself. 18-foot jump shot, no good. Quickly up the floor, here comes Allen for the Bulldogs. Forces the issue, goes up, no good, but a foul is called. That's going to go against Zach Jensen, his first and second team foul for the Flyers. Again, Mekhi Allen, a 6'2 senior, explosive guard. Recently committing to play JUCO ball at Snow College for Coach Andrew May. Had a good amount of offers to go elsewhere, choosing to stay local and play for a pretty solid program. At Snow, coming off last year, they were ranked #1 in the nation. This year, still in the top 10. Substitutions for both teams. Checking in for the Flyers for the first time is number 4, Asher Spence, also a transfer move in from Desert Hills. As Holbrook taking the contact, goes up, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. As Garrig Orchard will be whistled for that foul, just checking in for Provo. So that'll be the 5th team foul. So from here on out, for the first quarter, every whistle against Provo will result in free throws for the Flyers. As Chaz steps up and makes the first. Holbrook's brother, Boston, played at Desert Hills. He's got a younger brother who played basketball for a while, but now his focus is on golf. And Chaz, again, just coming off a solid football season, playing wide out for the Flyers. And he makes the second free throw. Allen, the far side. It's a screen. Tried to thread the needle underneath to a cutting Castanetto, and a whistle and a foul. I believe that's going to go against Mac Howard, his first and third team foul. Coming up on halfway through the first quarter, so as we wait for Mekhi to tuck in his jersey, officials making sure. Lobs over the top to Tallstrup. To Orchard. Orchard looking for cutters. Drives on Spence. And backs it out to Tallstrup. Tallstrup driving on Simmons. Tries to go up and underneath. Just kind of flicks it up with an underhand scoop and draws the contact, as Simmons will be called for the foul. And Coach Roberts not liking that. So that'll be Colin Simmons first and the 4th team foul. So what was a 5-1 foul advantage for the Flyers has quickly dwindled. So 4 team fouls for the Flyers, 5 team fouls for Provo. So both whistles, any whistle on either team will result in free throws. As Tallstrup, the 6'4 freshman, or excuse me, that's the younger Tallstrup. This is Callan, he's a senior, 6'8. Goes 2 for 2. Has a younger brother, a freshman, 6'4. May get in some time into the game. Well, 10-9 here for the Flyers. Spence swings to Simmons, picked up by Allen, who faked the shovel pass to Holbrook, now to Spence. Spence now swings to Ashton. The Flyers patiently trying to get the ball around the perimeter and attack the interior. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Holbrook, lob underneath quickly to Simmons, who goes up and flushes it home. Outstanding patience and execution there by the Flyers. Quickly up the floor, here comes Allen, lobbing it over the top to Tallstrup. 15-foot fadeaway, no good. Hard rebound, tapped out by Provo and chased down by Tallstrup as a collision resulting. We play on. Orchard now to McCune for a deep 3. Short rebound right to Ashton. Quickly up the floor to Spence. Spence scoops it up quickly, misses it too hard off the backboard and knocked out of bounds by a trailing Mac Howard. So Provo ball. So, a little first game jitters for the Flyers. Provo already having played a game Tuesday, coming off a fairly, I want to say easy, but it was definitely a dominant win. 20-plus points over West Jordan. Tallstrup hands to Allen. Allen, quick crossover against Ashton. Puts it up with the left hand, short. Fights for the rebound. Ashton comes down with it. Now he's leading the break. 3-on-3 for the Flyers. Little Euro step with the right hand on the left side, no good, but Simmons chases down the rebound, tries to save it. McCune picks it up, and he's fouled by Howard. That will be Mac Howard's second and 5th team foul. And a timeout is called on the floor. And it is a full timeout. We'll take it as well. We'll be back after 60 seconds here on FlyFam TV.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Beyond the park you know, exists a world you don't. A world that is greater. Greater than just one passion. Greater than just one adventure. Greater than just one moment. Come to where life is greater. Come to Greater Zion.
And welcome back to Pineview High School, the opening night of the Coach Walker Classic Provo Bulldogs. Dixie Flyers. Flyers holding on to a 3-point lead right now. Just 2.5 minutes left. Out of the timeout. Cale McCune shooting 2 free throws. Misses hard. Couple of substitutions for the Flyers. Zach Jensen returning. Jackson Winters checking in for the first time, replacing Mac Howard, who just picked up his second foul, as well as Colin Simmons, and both free throws missed by McCune. Ashton comes down with the rebounds. Right now, Flyers trying to match up here against the smaller Bulldogs. Allen bit on the jab step by Jensen, and he'll be called for his first foul. So Jensen will go to the line and shoot 2. So again, 5 team fouls puts the opposing team on the free throw line. So it's going to be, could be kind of a lengthy 2.5 minutes as Jensen makes the first. Zach, a 6'2" senior, getting his first official varsity start tonight. And he makes both. Allen trots across midcourt, swings over to Tallstrup, who takes a deep 3. That's good. Callan Tallstrup, a 6'8" forward / center, showing some range. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I believe he put up about 22 points against West Jordan as Holbrook able to bob and weave his way in for 2. Tallstrup, no hesitation. Long rebound off the missed 3, chases down his own rebound and kicks back out to Allen, who resets the offense. Over to Orchard. Quickly, the free throw line. Tallstrup with a 1-foot jump shot a la Dirk Nowitzki, and he buries it. Tallstrup, 7 points here in the first quarter for Tallstrup. The Flyers now looking to execute in the half court. A whistle and a foul on the drive. So Ammon Ashton will now shoot 2. And that foul called against Cale McCune. So Ashton, 6'4" senior, misses the first. Played sparingly last year as a junior in some varsity minutes, but he's also nursing some injuries on and off throughout the year that kind of limited his time. So hopefully he's over that and will able to be a full-time contributor as he misses both free throws. And Provo with the rebound. Allen over to McCune. Looks for cutters, wants to get down to Mackay, who's posting up. Now to Tallstrup. Back to McCune, now back to Mackay Allen. Picked up by Winters, drives against Winters. Winters blocks with the ball, but Mackay Allen comes back with it. And a whistle and a flop. So that's going to go against Mackay Allen. So they will count the basket. But that's a warning. So what if you're not familiar, if a player is deemed, flopping or exaggerating contact that's not there, it's the first time it's a warning. Second time it will count as a foul. So Allen with one personal foul and now a warning. And a travel violation on Asher Spence. So tie ball game here, just under a minute left to play in the opening quarter. Had some pretty good basketball here early on and not so good basketball by both teams. The Flyers should be able to get possession, assuming they get the rebound. Allen looking for a teammate. Over to Castanetto, back to Tallstrup. Winters picks him up well beyond the three-point line. Tallstrup drives, he's cut off. Out to McCune. McCune back to Tallstrup. Now to Orchard. Orchard's going to drive against Beckstrom. Back out to McCune. McCune with the deep three. That's good. 25 seconds left. Spence quickly up the floor. Back out to Jensen. The Flyers trying to find a seam to attack as they come to a close of the first quarter, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Provo. No shot clock. So 19 and a half seconds left here. And a quick substitution by Provo as Nikolai Chrisman replacing Allen. Coach Collinsworth not wanting Allen to pick up a second foul. Winters to Beckstrom. Back to Winters. Trying to get it down to Simmons. Cross court to Jensen. 10 seconds in the quarter. Spence picked up by Orchard. Drives. Loses it. Taken away. McCune has it. He gives to Orchard. Orchard doesn't know what the time is. He's not going to get a shot off, and that's going to be the end of the opening quarter of play here at Pineview High School. So some good basketball, and some mixed basketball. But we're one quarter down for a long season. We're going to take a 60-second timeout, be back with the second quarter of play here on FlyFam TV.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
And welcome back to Pineview High School. We're about to begin the second quarter of play, opening night for the Dixie Flyers boys basketball team as they are taking on the number 1 4A Provo Bulldogs. And the Flyers had about a 5-point lead, 4 or 5-point lead several times, but the Bulldogs able to battle back, and they have a 3-point advantage as we start the second quarter, and they start with the ball. Scoring update coming out of the timeout. Crimson Cliffs hosting the Wasatch Wasps over at the Fieldhouse. Right now the Mustangs leading 33-28, about 4 minutes left in the second quarter of play there. Allen gets a screen from Tallstrup, steps back for the deep three, too hard, rebound, Mac Howard. Howard clears to Holbrook. Holbrook quickly up the floor, and he loses it, hands it right to Makai Allen. Allen gonna take it all the way with the right-handed layup. Allen, 8 points here in the first half. Holbrook back over to Howard. It's a screen from Simmons to Winters. Now to Holbrook. Holbrook cut off by McCune. Now to Simmons, who gets fouled. No whistle, no harm. Jackson, Winters over to Howard. Now to Simmons. Flyers quickly moving the ball around the perimeter, looking for an option to attack, and a whistle and a foul as they were trying to get it to the diving Colin Simmons. So that's going to go against Nikolai Chrisman. That's his third personal already. First team foul in the second quarter, so he'll be subbed out almost immediately by Coach Collinsworth. Holbrook, the trigger man, gets it into Howard. Howard all the way in, takes the contact, loses it, out of bounds, and that's going to be Provo ball. So Howard wanting the foul call on that, but to no avail. Allen to Tallstrup, quickly hands it right back to him, tries to flare back to Tallstrup, and is taken away by Holbrook. and he's caught from behind by Orchard. Now there's a scrum on the floor. Here come the Bulldogs. Tallstrup going into the paint, out of control, but he's hit, he's fouled, he'll shoot 2. Tallstrup, very capable player. Again, 6'8" senior weighing in at 220. Right now, leading scorer unofficially with 10 points. And he converts on the first free throw. And the largest lead of the game for either team right now is the Bulldogs, 22-6. Substitutions for the Flyers as Winters and Beckstrom will take a breather. Zach Jensen and Ammon Ashton returning. And Tallstrup makes both. Well, the Bulldogs showing a little man-to-man press. Quickly over to Jensen. Jensen picked up by McCune. Flyers working around the perimeter. Now to Jensen. Out to Simmons. Simmons pump fakes the 3. He's going to drive in. Contact, no good, but he'll shoot 2. That's going to go against Tallstrup. That's his second personal, second team foul. And right now, if you're the Flyers, I'd be surprised if Tallstrup stays in the game, but at the same time, I don't know who comes in for him if you're Coach Collinsworth. It wouldn't surprise me if they keep him in there and just say, hey, you gotta play through it, big guy. Simmons makes the first. Simmons, a 6'8" senior. If you weren't able to catch the media day yesterday or the replay that we had before the game, Simmons listing his vertical leaping ability at 40 inches, 42 inches, somewhere in there. For a 6'8" player, that's impressive. Tallstrup trying to drive on Ashton. Ashton knocks it away. Now it's picked up by Jensen, who tries to get it to Holbrook, and it's knocked away and taken away by Makai Allen. Now out to the corner, Castanetto for the 3. Short, rebound, Makai Allen. Bulldogs quickly swinging around the floor. Orchard drives, hangs, no good. Rebound, Simmons, and he loses it. Bodies collide, no good, and now Howard comes down with it. And Simmons is coming up lame. Not sure if he took a knee or an ankle. He runs through it. And the Flyers reset in the half court. Jensen to the flaring Simmons, shoots the 3, no good. And a rebound right to Orchard, quickly up the floor. Now to Allen across to Tallstrup, steps right into a deep 3, no good. Rebound, Simmons. He clears to Ashton. And Coach Roberts says, let's slow it up a bit, as Holbrook will walk across midcourt. Ashton lobs underneath to Simmons, who's pushed, and that's going to be a foul. Yeah, that's an easy call. And if that goes against Tallstrup, that is 3 personal fouls. Nope. I say I didn't think it would be on him, but they're giving that to Cale McCune, so that'll be his second, 3rd team foul. Holbrook lobs it over the top to Howard. Quickly underneath. Ashton, errant pass right to Makai Allen. Allen driving all the way. Whistle, foul, count it. Makai Allen not being denied. Using his speed and explosiveness, absorbing the contact and getting the ball up off the glass and in, will step up to the 3-point play. So Makai into double figures, and Ashton, that'll be his second personal for the Flyers, second team foul, so Ashton will have a seat as Asher Spence checks in, and Allen makes the free throw. And substitution for the Bulldogs as Malik Allen, a 6'1" sophomore, will check in, replacing Lucas Castanetto. And now the Flyers dealing with a full court man-to-man press, almost turned it over. Trailing 26-17, Holbrook drives, hit, he's fouled, and Flyers will get it on the baseline. That's going to go against Malik Allen, his first personal, 4th team foul. And this Provo style of defense, very aggressive, very in your face, but at the same time, as we've seen already, very handsy, as they've had a lot of fouls already called on them. The Flyers not too far behind as Simmons drives, he's hit, he's fouled, he'll shoot 2. And that'll go against Tallstrup. That'll be his third. And that's a big foul for this Bulldog team, and that will definitely force Coach Collinsworth to put his big man on the bench, as Simmons will go to the line shooting 2. And Colin makes the first. As Callan Tallstrup will have a seat, and he'll sit pretty much the rest of the half, again with 3 personal fouls. Coach Collinsworth not wanting to mess around with that. And Lucas Castanetto checking in for him. So right now, if there's a size advantage to be had, it is on the part of the Flyers. But don't for a second think that this Provo team isn't capable. A flare screen out to Allen, clears back out to his brother, quickly around the floor. Orchard underneath. Pump fake by Mackay Allen, and he puts it up and in. Mackay easily with 12, 14 points here in the first half. Harassing Holbrook full court. Lob over the top to Simmons. Flyers trying to take advantage of his height. They do. He's with a whistle and a foul, and Simmons will shoot 2 again. That's going to go against Garrick Orchard. That'll be his 2nd and 5th team foul. So very similar to the first quarter of play, right about this 4-minute mark in the first quarter. Provo had committed 5 fouls. Simmons misses the first. So right now, if you're the Flyers, you're getting the shots you want, just not necessarily converting. But the big thing is you got to get stops, as Mackay Allen has had his way in this first half. As Simmons makes the 2nd. Allen. Castanetto being picked up by Spence. Ball's knocked away. Castanetto gets it back. Now over to Orchard, wanting to get the ball to Allen, who's trying to post up. Another free throw line. Now underneath to Allen. Allen loses his dribble, finds the back-cutting Orchard. Orchard's hit from behind. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. So Jensen will be called for that foul. That'll be his 2nd, 3rd team foul for the Flyers, as Garrett Orchard, the 6'2 senior, stepping in the line, makes the first. So right now, if you're the Flyers and Coach Roberts, you're wondering where your offense is going to come from. Only 4 points scored in this second quarter as Orchard misses. And if I'm correct, no field goals. They've all come on free throws. So, quick pass to Simmons, to Spence. Streaking down the lane, able to get the layup off the curl. Asher Spence, his first field goal of the night. Maybe that'll get the Flyers going into some rhythm. Allen swings over to his brother. Now back to Mackay. Mackay. Now to Malik. Malik drives to the right side, gets by Spencer. Back out to Castanetto. Long 3, hard off the rim, no good. Rebound tapped out of bounds. Last touched by the Flyers. So fresh shot clock for the Bulldogs. As Allen, the trigger man, out to Castanetto through the elevator screen. Air ball on the 3. That's going to be Flyer basketball. So as we approach halftime, folks, at the end of this second quarter, we'll take a 2-minute timeout on FlyFam TV. We'll be back with our SkyWest halftime show. We'll recap the first half, preview the second half as Spence puts up 3, no good. Simmons with the offensive putback, and it rolls off the rim, no good. Here come the Bulldogs. Allen, quick out to Malik Allen. And the Bulldogs reset. Mackay Allen with the right-handed scoop off the reverse dribble. Beautiful move. Largest lead here of the game. 11 points for this Bulldog team. 9 points. Flyers trying to get it down low. The Bulldogs doing a solid job cutting that off. Winters down the paint. Scoops with the right hand. Up and in. Jackson Winters with his first field goal. So coming up on 2 minutes here in the opening half of play as Mackay Allen drives baseline, and that's going to be a whistle and a foul against Howard. Not necessarily a bad foul, but it is going to be bad for Mac. That's going to be, I believe, his second or third personal. Yeah, third personal foul. So Mac will have to take a seat as Ammon Ashton checks in. Ashton also with 2 personal fouls, but only the 4th team foul, so just a fresh shot clock. No free throws. Mackay peels off the screen, shovels to Malik. Malik out to Orchard for the free throw line extended 3, no good. Ashton with the rebound, and he hands to Spence. Here come the Flyers. Trying to close the gap here for halftime. Winters. And now Holbrook resets the offense. Quickly over to Spence. Spence looking underneath, bounce pass to Simmons, easy up and in. Beautiful execution there by the Flyers. Now can Dixie get a stop? Can they string together some stops here? That's going to be the question as Allen steps into a wide open 3. No good. Rebound. Knocked around, and Malik Allen comes down with it. And Provo resets. Orchard driving all the way in the paint. Has it knocked away, taken away. Here comes Holbrook. Bounce pass, a little bit behind Ammon Ashton, and it goes out of bounds. Missed opportunity there by the Flyers. Just under a minute to play. So again, at the termination of the second quarter, we'll take a quick 2-minute timeout and be back with our SkyWest halftime show here on FlyFam TV. Again, thanks so much for joining us. As Allen posting up on Holbrook. A little 8-foot turnaround baseline jump shot, no good. Simmons high for the rebound. And the Flyers could go 2 for 1 if they want to, as Holbrook thought about it and then backs it out. Dixie calling out instructions, waiting for cutters. Holbrook. Now back to Spence to Holbrook, now to Ashton. Some miscommunication here, 10 seconds. Ashton drives behind the plane of the backboard, finds Holbrook wide open, no good. Rebound fought for, and saved by Provo. Here come the Bulldogs, 10 seconds left. McCune wisely holds it up, looks for his point guard and gets it to him. Mackay Allen. I don't think he's going to pass it. Oh, he does. McCune, though, with the deep 3. No good. And that will close out the first half of play as the Bulldogs hold on to a 5-point lead, 31-26, here at the 2025 annual Coach Walker Holiday Classic. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with our SkyWest halftime show. We'll recap the first half, preview the second half, and what the Flyers got to do if they're going to be able to steal away a win from the #1 ranked Provo Bulldogs. Again, back after these messages on FlyFam TV.
There's nothing quite as awesome as aviation. At SkyWest every day, we safely and reliably connect people across North America, and together we do it better than anyone else. No matter the challenge or the headwind, the SkyWest ability to work together enables us to adapt better and faster. To secure the best opportunities and, most importantly, to take the best care of each other. I want to thank our people at SkyWest for your commitment to integrity, to teamwork, and to excellence. It's because of this collective commitment that there is no airline with a brighter future, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this outstanding team.
welcome back to Pineview High School. Season opener for the Dixie Flyer boys basketball team. And right now they are trailing at halftime, 31-26 against the Provo Bulldogs. Again here as part of the annual Coach Walker Classic, Pineview holds in honor of the late great Coach Walker. And does some charitable work in his name to honor him and also to help some other people out. Always a great tournament. Most of the local schools here are playing or participating in some way. Hurricane, Snow Canyon, Dixie, Pineview, Crimson Cliffs. Cedar is not, but Canyon View came down, made the trip. Following this game will be the Pineview contest. But for now, let's take a look at the halftime stats. These are the official numbers, so shout out to the score table for getting this to me. First off, let's talk about the Bulldogs. Highlighted, again, the number 1 in 4A classification Bulldogs and the number 1 player, rated player in 4A, and that's Makai Allen, and he is not disappointed. Allen, in the first half, 15 points off of field goals, and then 3 for 3 from the free throw line, leading all scorers, 16 points. So more than half of this Bulldog team's offense being generated by the explosive guard, Makai Allen. Garrick Orchard chipping in a free throw. Tallerstrup into double figures as well. Or no, just below double figures. 9 points. But he picked up his 3rd personal foul late in that first quarter. So again, that'll be something to keep an eye on throughout the second half. And then McCune for Provo with the 3-pointer. And that's it. So you've got 4 players scoring for the Bulldogs right now. On the flip side for the Flyers, Zach Jensen with 4 points on 4 of 5 free throw shooting. Chaz Holbrook with 6. He's gone 4 for 4 from the free throw line and has a field goal. Colin Simmons, 8 points, 2 field goals, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Ammon Ashton with the field goal, Mac Howard with a free throw, and Jackson Winters with a layup, and Asher Spence with a layup as well. Again, as far as rebounding right now, Provo definitely with Tallstrup on the bench, the advantage to the Flyers, but Provo has done an admirable job, especially on the offensive rebounding side, collecting multiple second chances, opportunities to score. And Dixie has had some trouble with their pressure defense, especially around the perimeter, trying to get the ball, trying to attack the interior with Simmons, especially with Tallstrup on the bench. And Provo did a solid job of mixing things up off of switches and double teams, trying to frustrate that entry pass. And again, Dixie scoring 10 points in that second quarter, and half of them were free throws. So, again, if you're Coach Roberts and his staff right now, you've got to be able to find a way to create some offensive rhythm, whether it's from the inside to the outside or from the outside to the inside. And you've got to be able to find somebody that can knock down some shots off your play sets, quick hitters, or what have you. And then for Provo, man, just keep feeding Makai Allen. And if you're the Flyers, you just got to be able to find a way to just kind of discourage him. I mean, on his way right now to a potential career night. I have no idea what his career high is, but, I mean, 16 points in the first half, 10 points in the second, he's got a 25-point night. So, could be looking at some fun basketball there by one of the best in the state. So, again, if you're the Flyers, you got to be able to come out with some stops. You got to be able. You're not going to stop Makai Allen, but you got to be able to slow some things down, and you got to rebound. So if you're going to have a chance to win this game and upset the number 1 team in 4A, you got to be able to get some stops and get some rebounds, and then again find offense. And if you're Provo, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Again, this team is Bulldogs ranked number 1 in 4A, and they've played well. All right, we're about ready for the second half of play. We're going to take another brief timeout here on FlyFam TV and our SkyWest halftime show. Again, thanks so much for joining us. There's our logo for SkyWest Airlines. Appreciate their sponsorship of Dixie High boys basketball. So yeah, we're going to take another timeout. We'll be back with the second half of play here from Pineview High School on FlyFam TV. And welcome back to Pineview High School. Ryan Forsey here with you, FlyFam TV. The Provo Bulldogs leading the Dixie Flyers. For the Bulldogs, it's their second game of the week. They already played Tuesday. For the Flyers, it's their season opener. And so far has been a tough one. Again, for the Flyers, you've got pretty much an entire new starting five with Simmons and Howard really the only players returning with extensive varsity experience, and that's not including new move-in and transfer Chaz Holbrook, who came over from Desert Hills. So not to say there's not experience there, but again, for Coach Roberts and his staff, you've got to get these five men ready. Coming off a Final Four appearance last year in the 4A state tournament, but again, all five starters from that team graduating. Quickly underneath to Simmons, posting up on the smaller Castanetto, and he puts it up and in. So here you go, right off the bat, the Flyers getting it instantly into Colin Simmons, who answers as Allen drives. Kicks out, Castanetto back to Allen, this time picked up by Jensen. Allen with 16 points, leading all scorers. Now to Castanetto, to Mackay Allen. Allen looking at Tallstrup. Gets into the paint, pump fakes, pivots, puts up with the right-handed hook shot, then just throws it in off the backboard. What a shot. Didn't have any, or you could have hung your clothes on that one. Just lasered it right off the glass. Ashton. Picked up by Chrisman. Now to Jensen. Simmons going right at Tallstrup, across the key with the right hand, scoop and score. Tallstrup not wanting to pick up his fourth foul. And Simmons starting off hot. 3-point lead now for the Bulldogs. McCune takes a deep three, air ball. Ashton able to save it, quickly up the floor now to Holbrook. Holbrook, he'll step into a deep three. Too hard, rebound, Ashton. Clears to Jensen. Jensen steps into a three, too hard. Rebound, Simmons and Tallstrup fight for it, and it's off of Dixie. Provo ball. Both those shots, good looks, just couldn't quite convert. Would have tied the game, and the Flyer faithful here looking for excitement for their team. Castanetto picked up by Howard. Now back to Allen. Back to McCune. McCune being guarded by Simmons. Now underneath to Allen. Allen drives, kicks out to Castanetto. Deep three, too hard. Rebound, Simmons over everybody. McCune tried to get it, and Simmons just said, no, that's mine. Took it right out of his hands. Coach Roberts shouting instructions now as the Flyers getting into their half-court offense. Underneath again to Simmons. Look for the cutting Howard all the way up. No good on the layup. Howard just shorted it. Beautiful play. Just couldn't get it off the rim and in. Allen now driving baseline. Kicks out. McCune for another three. This one's good. Shooter mentality from Cale McCune. Airballed his last three. Stepped into the next one with confidence and buries it. The lead back up to 6. Holbrook giving instructions. Gets to Howard. Now to Ashton. Back to Holbrook. Holbrook looking down underneath to Simmons. He gets it. Simmons going against Tallstrup. Goes to the baseline. Elevates. He's hit. He's fouled. Count it. Colin Simmons. And that could be a game impact play as now Tallstrup with his 4th foul will have to sit. As Tallstrup will trot off shaking his head, and Coach Collinsworth for the Bulldogs sympathizes, empathizes, but he's got to sit his big man down. And that no doubt will create a massive advantage in size for the Flyers as Simmons converts the three-point play and is now into double figures. Quickly up the floor, Provo. Castanetto driving baseline against Howard. Reverse, puts it up with the right hand on the left side. Beautiful move. Lucas Castanetto, the pace quickening. Simmons has it knocked away, taken away, but Castanetto was out of bounds when he got it. Simmons wanted to dunk that and was a little soft with the hold on the ball, and Castanetto was able to get in there and knock it away. So good heads-up defensive play by Provo. So full shot clock for the Flyers as the officials sorting something out. Not sure what. It appears we're ready to go. As Holbrook will trigger it in for Dixie. Asher Spence checking in. Lobs over the top to Provo. McCune comes down with it. Not sure where Holbrook was trying to go with it. Maybe to Simmons. Underneath, wide open, is Nikolai Chrisman. Chrisman with his first field goal. As the Flyers in a lapse in defense in transition and a whistle away from the ball. And that's going to go against McCune. His 3rd personal. 2nd team foul for the Bulldogs. Right now, Coach Chris Collinsworth trying to manage the foul count as the lob into Simmons. Jensen crashes into Allen after he got rid of the ball, and it's a charge. Allen held his ground as Jensen made the pass in the air and had nowhere to go, and Makai Allen taking the charge and forcing the turnover. So that'll be Jensen's first personal. Substitution is Jackson Winters checking in. Asher Spence checked in last time. So for the Flyers, you've got Holbrook, Spence, Winters, Simmons, and Ashton. For the Bulldogs, as they're trying to wipe up some sweat on the floor, you've got Chrisman, Allen, Orchard, Castanetto, and checking just in is Emmanuel Giraldo, a 6'1" sophomore shooting guard. First time we've seen Giraldo. Off the bench for Provo. Mackay peels off the screen from Giraldo, drives on Simmons, pump fakes, puts it high with the right hand, rolls off the rim, and Ashton comes down with the rebound. Quickly across the midcourt. The Flyers underneath, and a whistle and a foul as Simmons is pulled down. That's going to go against Chrisman. So that's going to be his 4th. So he will come out as Cale McCune returns for the Bulldogs. 3rd team foul for Provo. As Holbrook will trigger the inbounds for the Flyers. Lobs over the top to Spence. Spence picked up by Giraldo. Winters across the perimeter. Spence to Winters. Winters dribble drives. Now back to Holbrook. Holbrook trying to get around McCune. Loses it momentarily. Now hands back to Spencer. Or excuse me, Spence. Spence rises for the three. No good. Winters, though, with the offensive rebound and a fresh shot clock. Spence being picked up by McCune. Now gives to Winters. Winters gets around McCune, loses his footing, but keeps the dribble and hands back to Holbrook. Holbrook now calls for a screen. Gets it into Ashton. Ashton underneath to Simmons. Simmons turns immediately up and in as Allen couldn't do anything but stand there. Quickly up the court. Here comes Orchard. He's hit. No foul, no whistle, but he clears to McCune, and the defense able to get back in time, and Provo will step into their half-court offense. To Allen, now to Castanetto. Castanetto picked by Ashton. Over to Orchard. Orchard to McCune. Now to Allen. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Allen's going to drive. Step back. 18-foot jump shot too hard. Rebound. Knocked away from Holbrook, and that's going to go against Allen. And that'll be a foul. So that'll be the fourth team foul for Provo. And that'll be the third on Makai Allen. So I'm assuming Makai Allen will now come out. Maybe. Nope. Coach Chris Collinsworth electing to go with his senior leader and just simply says, Makai, you got three. Got to be smart. And again, this aggressive style of defense by Provo from the jump, mixing things up with a full court man, very high pressure defense, very handsy. And they've created a lot of problems for the Flyers, but they've also committed a lot of fouls as Holbrook gets cut off. Finally finds Spence. Spence tries to drive on Allen, and he resets to Landon Beckstrom, who just checked in. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Holbrook lobs underneath to Simmons. Simmons to the cutting Winters for the easy layup. Beautiful play as Simmons drew the double team, and Winters found the open lane. Quickly up the floor. Contact, no whistle, as the official saying Simmons went straight up as Garrick Orchard was able to muscle in the layup. The Flyers executing as the shot clock winds down, and the Bulldogs just getting down in transition and able to creating offense. That has been the difference so far. Simmons drives into the paint. Ball's knocked away, taken away by Castanetto. Here comes Makai Allen. He drives on Holbrook. He hangs, he puts it up, he scores. Allen now with 20 points on the night. With Tallstrup on the bench, it is all going to be Makai Allen. The lob over the top to Simmons, who just outreaches Orchard and puts it up and in. So 5-point game. Timeout on the floor called by Provo. Not sure if it's a 30 or a full. It is a full timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. Back in 60 seconds here from Pineview High in the Coach Walker Classic.
In America today, the very fabric of our nation is being torn apart. We've never felt more divided, and we're too fixated on our differences. He's black, and he's white. He grew up in the city, and he's a farm boy from Utah. He's a Democrat, and he's a Republican. On paper, we couldn't be more different, and yet, we're both dads. We both love college basketball. We both have really stylish haircuts. And we're both proud Americans. We disagree passionately on lots of issues, but we're friends, and we respect each other. Politics is important, but it shouldn't define us or destroy our relationships. His name is Spencer Cox. And his name is Wes Moore. And we approve this message.
And back here at Pineview High School. Provo ball out of the timeout, holding on to a 5-point lead under 90 seconds to play. What are they going to execute out of the timeout as the Flyers appear to drop into a zone defense? No, they're playing man-to-man. Ball's knocked away, almost taken away by Jackson Winters. It's saved by Castanetto. He drives baseline and steps out of bounds. Well, the Flyers forcing the turnover out of the timeout. Can Dixie capitalize? As Chaz Holbrook now coming back into the game for Jackson Winters. So for the Bulldogs, you've got Castanetto, Mackay Allen, McCune, Orchard, and newly checking into the game, Hudson Miles, a 6'4" junior. Underneath to Spence, lobs over the top to Simmons. He's hit, no whistle, no, a late whistle. I would say he was hit across the arm as he put it up and in, and the official just a little late on the call, but Simmons now looking to convert his second three-point play of the third quarter, as Winters will check in for Mac Howard. So that's the 5th team foul, just under a minute to play. So if there is any more whistles against Provo, Dixie will shoot free throws. That's going to be the 3rd foul on Garrett Orchard, as Simmons converts the three-point play. 2-point game. This would be a big stop if Dixie can get it. They drop back into his own defense. Allen directing traffic. Slings it across court to McCune. Back up to Allen. About a 20-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Allen blocked on the corner three by Orchard, and it's brought down by the Flyers. Here comes Colin Simmons up to Beckstrom. Beckstrom almost loses it, gets it to Spence. Spence muscles it up and in, and then he's pushed from behind on the rebound. No whistle. Coach Roberts not happy with that. And a tie ball game, 20 seconds as Provo will play for the final possession going into the 4th quarter. And a foul as Dixie has 4 fouls to give, trying to keep them from scoring. So Spence, that will be his first personal, 2nd team foul. So 14.5 seconds left to play here. And Dixie wanting to get a stop, maybe even forcing a turnover. Allen quickly into the corner. Orchard drives baseline, across court, pump fakes Castanetto. Now underneath, Allen skies in and caught it. That pass was not intended for him, but he came away with it and able to put it up and in as the half-court heave will fall short, and that'll take us to the 4th quarter of play on a spectacular lay-in by Mackay Allen as the Bulldogs holding on to a 2-point lead. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on FlyFam TV.
This is Dr. Burke with Burke and Beckstrom Orthodontics. Inside each of us is a desire to be our best self, but sometimes we need a little push. We need that voice telling us to keep going. We need that encouragement and that assurance that we're moving forward and improving. This could not be more true than when it comes to our appearance and our smile. So much of our confidence is based on the way we're perceived by others. With a great smile comes a significant boost in self-esteem and self-worth. At Burke and Beckstrom Orthodontics, our mission is to encourage you and help you take an active role in improving your life. We want to build you up, grow your confidence, and help you move forward. Live your best life. Be the best you. Visit our website today, burkeandbeckstromortho.com, to see how you can smile forward with Burke and Beckstrom Orthodontics. This is Dr. Burke.
And welcome back, Pineview High School. As Provo comes out of the quarter break with the ball. Dixie putting together a good run there, outscoring the Bulldogs, but here comes Callan Tallstrup for the Bulldogs. Again, the big man with 4 personal fouls. Backs in, blocked by Simmons, as Holbrook tried to draw the charge, but the official's not having it. Allen drives in, he's hit, he's fouled. And Allen will go to the line shooting 2. So Allen right now trying to keep track as best I can. I believe this would, if he makes both, which he misses the first, would put him right around 22, 23 points. Misses both. The rebound chased down by Ashton. So the Flyers get away with that one. Holbrook now taking on this Provo Bulldog team that is back to full strength as Allen tips it away and collects it right from Jensen. Picked his pocket. Now back to Tallstrup. Over to Orchard. Underneath to Allen for the wide open layup, but he shorts it. Rebound to Holbrook. That's a shot Allen would definitely want back as he stumbles. A quick 5-on-4 advantage to the Flyers. Ashton nowhere to go. Swings to Jensen. Back to Ashton. Again, the Flyers into their half-court offense. Pace quickening. Holbrook. Now to Jensen. And cross court to Ashton. Now to Holbrook. Now to Jensen. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Jensen scoops in all the way in with the left-handed layup as he got by Tallstrup. Had the speed advantage, and Tallstrup not wanting to foul kind of just opened the door and let him go through. Tie game again. 46-46. And number 1 against number 4. Tallstrup trying to back his way in. He's hit. He's fouled. That's going to go against Ashton or Jensen on the double team. Yeah, that's going to be Ammon Ashton. So I believe that'll be his third. No, correction, second personal. So Tallstrup will step to the line. Tallstrup, 9 points and still at 9. And goes 1 for 2. The Flyers with an opportunity here to take a lead after a made shot. It'll be their first lead since early in the first quarter, if they can. Holbrook looking for a teammate in this pressure defense, and a whistle and a foul on McCune. This pressure defense, as I was saying, against Provo. They're undersized, but they try to take advantage of their speed and quickness and just are constantly harassing you. That's going to be McCune's 4th personal. First team foul. So you have 2 players for the Bulldogs with 4 fouls. McCune and Tallstrup both with 4 fouls. A whistle away from the ball. Not sure. Clock. I believe a clock issue. Okay. So I think they got it fixed. And we play on. Holbrook looking to Ashton. To Jensen. Jensen lobs over the top, comes off the backboard, bad pass. Tallstrup comes away with it. The big man rumbling down the court all the way in for the easy layup. Callan Tallstrup. Nobody got in his way or slowed him down, and the big man just took it the length of the floor. Howard drives into the paint. Ashton loses it, but Colin Simmons able to volleyball set it back in on the offensive putback. Castaneda with the quick corner 3, no good. Rebound Simmons. And again, the Flyers with another opportunity to possibly take the lead. Ashton down the floor, all the way in for the layup. And Dixie's first lead since the first quarter, and Coach Collinsworth calls a timeout. As the Flyer faithful finally having something to get excited about. It is a full timeout called by Provo, their final full timeout. We'll take it as well and be back after this on FlyFam.tv. time back here at Pineview High School. Out of the timeout, it'll be Provo ball. They trail by 1 as the Flyers taking their first lead since the first quarter. Ryan Forsey here with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Scoring update, 90 seconds left in the game over at the Fieldhouse. Crimson Cliffs down by 12 to Wasatch, 75-63. We'll keep an eye on that as Tallstrup with the tough fadeaway. No good. As the defense for the Flyers standing tall and not fouling. Opportunity here to extend the lead. 5 minutes to play. Spence, Ashton, Jensen, Simmons, and Holbrook. Simmons with the ball, wanting to go against Tallstrup. He does, all the way in for the easy layup. Simmons recognizing the advantage as Tallstrup has 4 fouls. Quickly, Castanetto, though, loses his footing. He gets rid of the ball before he travel. Allen, one-on-one against Holbrook. Drives in, pump fakes. Nice hesitation up with the left hand. Mackay Allen. Allen is the real deal, putting on a show tonight. Explosiveness, touch shots, and just heady play as he's single-handedly kept his team in this game. Holbrook, now to Simmons, picked up by McCune. Now to Jensen. Jensen to Ashton, a whistle and a foul on the pass. That's going to be the second team foul against Provo. If that's on McCune, that might be his 5th. It is not. It's on Orchard, but that's his 4th. So now Provo with 3 players with 4 fouls. Quickly give and go to Spence, all the way in for the layup. Provo falling asleep on the defensive end right there, and the Flyers with a 3-point lead. Here comes Mackay Allen, shaking and baking. Wanting to get the ball down to Tallstrup. He does, over the top, pump fakes, he's hit, he's fouled. 3-point play opportunity, Callan Tallstrup, as he collected the pass and gave a good head fake and sent both defenders into the air. And draws the foul and the layup. So that will go against Chaz Holbrook, his 3rd. And Tallstrup, opportunity for a 3-point play. And I believe the scoreboard's a little bit behind. It should be 53-54. I could be wrong, but yeah, 53-54. Basket counted, so an opportunity here for Tallstrup to tie the game. Just under 4 minutes left to play. He makes it. Whistle and a foul on the inbounds. That's going to go against Chrisman. That could be his 4th or 5th. I'm not sure. For Coach Collinsworth, you just got guys with fouls right now. Just very handsy defense. Again, that's what you have to do, and that is his 5th. So Nikolai Chrisman will foul out, and in for Chrisman will be Orchard. So for the Bulldogs, you've got McCune with 4 fouls, Allen with 2 or 3, Tallstrup with 4, and Orchard with 4. Spence being picked up and hounded by Allen. Back out to Howard. Howard drives on McCune. Underneath, Simmons. Simmons with the 12-foot baseline shot. Too hard, no good. Allen with the rebound. Quickly up the floor. Orchard. Back out to Allen. Allen to Tallstrup. Picked up by Howard. Steps into a 16-foot, one-footed jump shot. No good. And Simmons with the rebound. Not a good shot there if you're Tallstrup. Had the height advantage, probably could have just taken his time and gotten a better shot. A whistle and a timeout on the floor. So Coach Roberts wanting a timeout, 30 or full. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll take the full timeout as well and be back after this on FlyFam.tv.
The road to success is not the path you find, but the trail you blaze. Beginning at St. George State Academy, then Dixie State University, and finally, Utah Tech University, this historic institution has risen from the desert as one of the fastest growing, most affordable, safest, and rapidly evolving universities in the nation. Our Polytechnic mission creates hands-on learning opportunities from day one in all of our 200 programs. Through internships, experiential learning, and industry partnerships, I will graduate career ready. Although this journey was not always easy, I know that education is the single most powerful tool to change the world. Disappointments are inevitable and change is inescapable, but difficulties mastered are opportunities won. In Trailblazer Nation, you will not only discover who you are meant to become, but have the greatest time of your life. Go Utah Tech!
And welcome back, Pineview High School. 3 minutes left to play here. We got a ball game, 54 all tied up. Dixie trying to run something out of the timeout. Provo has 4 players with 4 fouls. Howard, back out to Spence, wide open 3. Rolls around and drops in, Asher Spence. As the young man turns with a smile on his face. Struggling a bit from the field tonight, but able to get that one to fall. Allen now against Ammon Ashton. Bounce pass underneath to McCune. Back out to Castanedo for the 3. No good. Long rebound collected by Orchard and saved to Makai Allen and a fresh shot clock. Allen's going to drive against Ashton all the way in. Blocked by Simmons. Rejected. Out of bounds. So Provo ball. 27 seconds left to play. Scoring update from the field house. Crimson Cliffs falling in their opener to the Wasatch Wasps, 79-68. The ball intercepted by Spence easily. Asher Spence all the way in, loses control, tapped up and in, no, but Simmons gets a rebound, gets it back, knocked away, taken away by Castanedo. The Flyers just couldn't capitalize. Provo now coming. Here comes the Bulldog as Orchard has it knocked away, but that's going to be a foul on Holbrook. 2 minutes to play here. Oh, the Flyers wish they could have had that possession back. Spence couldn't quite keep his footing. Ashton had a chance at the tip. Simmons had a chance at the tip, and neither could convert. So Provo ball trailing by 3. Allen pump fakes the 3. Now backs out and resets, wanting to get the ball down to Tallstrup. Tallstrup picked up by Ashton. Tallstrup going to work. Loses the ball momentarily. He's double teamed, knocked away, and a whistle and a foul. As Colin Simmons not liking that call. I believe that will go against Colin. And that will be the 5th team foul. So that'll send Tallstrup to the free throw line, shooting 2, and it is against Simmons, his 2nd and 5th team foul. So every whistle against the Flyers now possibly resulting in free throws, as the Pineview home crowd starting to gather here in the pit, as Pineview, they will play immediately following this game against Manti, the Templars, as Tallstrup makes the 1st and 2nd. So 1-point ball game here. Crunch time here for the Flyers. Provo Bulldogs, again, being tested early. Simmons up, blocked possibly by Tallstrup, but Ashton skies in for the rebound, and the Flyers get a full fresh shot clock and a possession. Allen almost had the steal. Howard, if you're the Flyers, if you can get downhill, you've got 3 of their starters on the floor right now with 4 fouls. Right now, Dixie trying to attack and find a seam over the top. Ashton, baseline, bounce pass to Simmons, spins around, loses it, but a whistle and a foul. And if that's on Tallstrup or McCune, either one, they're gone. And that is Tallstrup. That'll be his 5th personal, and a huge potential blow for this Provo Bulldog team, as Simmons will step to the line, shooting 2. A frustrating result for Callan Tallstrup and Chris Collinsworth, head coach of the Bulldogs. But again, that has been the story of the night. If you're Provo, I don't think in any way they've been singled out. It's just their style of defense, and the Flyers have been able to withstand it enough. As Simmons makes the 1st of 2. and whether they've been able to maintain possessions or draw fouls. So Simmons taking his time. The 6'8" senior rolls in the second. A 3-point lead here. The Flyers clinging. Coming up on 60 seconds is Allen directing traffic. Now picked up on Simmons. He's going to drive. He's going to force the issue, and he's going to get hit, and he's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. Just a smart, explosive play by Makai Allen, who's got to be approaching 28, 30 points potentially. He's got to be somewhere in that realm, but he misses the free throw. Potential ramifications here for the Bulldogs. Substitutions now for the Flyers as Winters comes out and Asher Spence returns and makes the second. So 2-point lead for the Flyers. So for Dixie, you've got Holbrook, Spence, Howard, Simmons, and Ashton. For the Bulldogs, McCune with 4 fouls, Orchard with 4 fouls, Castanetto, Malik Allen, and Makai Allen as Howard. Near side is the visiting Panther fans have joined the Provo crowd, and a timeout, and I want to say a full timeout, 30-second timeout, not sure, 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 30-second timeout again as the Pineview faithful starting to come in, parents and fans for their home opener. And again, final scoring update. And the Crimson Cliff Mustangs coming up short in their home opener and season opener against the Wasps, 79-68. That game was being streamed over on the Fan Sports Network. So right now for the Flyers, let's set the stage. You've got 16 seconds. If you make a basket, that could potentially be enough to do it. Coming up on the end of this game, we'll take a 2-minute timeout and be back with our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. We'll recap this game and talk about tomorrow's game as the Flyers take on Bountiful at Dixie High, still part of the Walker Classic. And a whistle, a late whistle. And a turnover on Dixie. I'm not sure if he stepped out of bounds or if it was a double dribble, but that's going to go on Mac Howard. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances as both Coach Roberts and Howard asking what happened. And we couldn't see because of the students. So 37 seconds and a timeout on the floor as Coach Roberts wanting an explanation. And it's going to still be a 30-second timeout. Full timeout? Provo can't make up their mind. It is a full timeout. We'll take the full timeout as well. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the final 37 seconds here on FlyFam TV.
It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit HolbrookAsphalt.com to discover more.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cass Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we're back here, 37 seconds left. FlyFam TV, thanks so much again for joining us, Ryan Forsey, on our season opening game of the Coach Walker Classic. We got a good one. Right now, Provo, 2-pointer will tie it, 3-pointer will take the lead with about a maybe 2-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Allen, no doubt, dribbling the ball, waiting for the opportune time as Coach Collinsworth shouting instructions. 15 seconds, here we go. Allen peels off the screen, he's gonna drive, hesitates, goes straight up over Simmons, that's good, tie ball game. 7 seconds, Spence across midcourt, looking to attack. 2 seconds, step back three, that's well short, tip up and in by Jackson Winters. And it counts! Jackson Winters, the officials, they count it, and the Flyers upset the #1 4A team on the buzzer. Jackson Winters, what a way to start the season. Asher Spence, a deep three, just short. And Jackson Winters able to collect it enough and tips it in. Unbelievable. And the Flyers steal the win. 61-59. Wow. What a finish. I'm going to catch my breath here, folks. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back to recap what an exciting finish to this game and preview tomorrow's game against Bountiful. Don't go anywhere. What a finish. Back here on FlyFam TV. Oh my goodness, folks. Welcome back. FlyFam TV, Ryan Forsey here with you. And what a finish to the season opener for the Dixie boys basketball team as the Flyers steal the win at the buzzer with an offensive tip-in by Jackson Winters. Welcome into our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. Ryan Forsey here with you. Let me recap the final 36.9 seconds as the Provo Bulldogs taking possession after an errant turnover. We don't know what it was, if it was a double dribble or a step out of bounds, but Mac Howard turns it over for the Flyers. Provo calls the timeout, sets up the play as Makai Allen runs the clock down and gets into the paint with a little, I shouldn't even say a little, just an incredible 8-foot fadeaway shot over Colin Simmons with about 7.5 seconds left. The Flyers alertly getting it inbounds, and Asher Spence dribbling down the floor, taking a deep three, and it came off the rim with about a second and a half, and Jackson Winters was in the right place at the right time and just kind of tapped it up and in with 1-2 hands. Not quite sure, but doesn't matter. It went in as the Flyers come away with the mild upset win, being the number 4 4A team and Provo being the number 1 4A team. So again, just an exciting finish to a close, hard-fought game throughout the night. And again, for the Bulldogs, Makai Allen was as advertised. I don't have the official stats. I'm hoping to get them. We'll see if they can get them up to me as they're trying to total things up. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was near 30, 26, maybe 28 points. Just outstanding performances. Tallstrup was kind of saddled with some foul trouble and really couldn't play much of the second half. And Allen just wouldn't go away for this Provo Bulldog team as they were undersized once Tallstrup came off the floor. And the Flyers, that's how they got back in the game, is they were able to take advantage of the foul issues that Provo had, and being led by Colin Simmons. Simmons came out with a fire in that third quarter, starting off the third quarter with 3 straight buckets, and really kind of got the Flyers back into the flow, and eventually retaking the lead late in the third quarter, early part of the fourth quarter, and doing just enough to keep a 2-3 point advantage. And that just took us down to that last final 2 possessions by the Bulldogs. The impressive shot by Makai Allen to tie, and then again, just being in the right place at the right time. And Jackson Winters, the senior forward off the bench, able to capitalize and gives the Flyers their first win of the season against the number 1 team in 4A. Again, Ryan Forsey here with you on FlyFam TV. Thanks so much for joining us for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. I was hoping to get some stats up here, but I'm not sure if they're coming through. Sometimes they get them to me, sometimes they don't. But I'm not going to sit here and waste away and wander on, ramble on with, in the hopes. It doesn't look like I'm going to get them. Darn it. So we'll have to check that in the box score. That'll be posted in a little while on Max Preps, Deseret News, to kind of get the final totals. But again, for the Flyers, no doubt Colin Simmons in that second half really setting the tone offensively. Key contributions from Asher Spence, Chaz Holbrook, Ammon Ashton, and then, of course, the biggest contribution, the winning basket, Jackson Winters. And a very good team win for this Flyer team on opening night. For Provo, well, they'll get back at it tomorrow, as I've got the schedule here. So as we preview tomorrow, so if you're Provo will take on host Pineview tomorrow. So that's what's going to happen there. Yeah. For the Flyers, that game will be played over at Dixie High. Again, still part of the Walker Classic, but they will take on the Redhawks of Bountiful. Bountiful playing in the game right before this against Snow Canyon, Region 9 foe Snow Canyon, and they coming away with a 10-point win. Snow Canyon kept it close throughout most of the game, and Bountiful was able to pull away towards the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, and a combination of a full court press and some very timely 3-point shooting. But that'll be a good one. And last year, Bountiful and Dixie meeting in this same tournament. Bountiful coming away with a win last year over the Flyers. So no doubt Dixie will probably remember that, as they've got a quick turnaround. So the game tomorrow right here on FlyFam TV, and that'll be the home opener at Dixie High. Dixie will be the designated visiting team, even though it'll be at Dixie High. Bountiful will be the designated home team. But again, we'll have that right here. If you can't be there in person on FlyFam TV, we'll start the broadcast assuming everything's on time, probably about 15 minutes before tip-off, so about 6:45, 6:50. Again, in this tournament, all teams are playing. So we got freshman, sophomore, JV, all playing tomorrow at Dixie High for the Flyers against the Redhawks. So it should be a fantastic day. And then Saturday, the tournament will conclude for all teams. And for the Flyers, they will finish at Dixie on Saturday as well against Green Canyon. And if you remember, Green Canyon eliminating the Flyers last year in the semifinals of the 4A state playoffs. The Wolves, the number 1 seed, went on to be upset in the state championship by Payson. So that'll be a fantastic conclusion on Saturday. So 3 quality opponents, quality games for this Flyer program. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me here from Pineview High School and the Coach Walker Classic. Day 1 in the books. Thanks so much again for joining me here on FlyFam TV. We're going to thank our sponsors, Sky West, Stewart Awning, also Nick's on the links, as we are still collecting some help from our sponsors. Can't do it without our sponsors. Thank you so much, as we're getting some of their logos and their commercials inputted, put together. We'll continue to get those broadcasts again so everybody knows who supports the FlyFam. So again, thanks so much again for joining me here. The final score here from the pit, Dixie 61, Provo 59. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at the hangar.